Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy. We're back. This time we're doing a little bit of Revenant. A Revenant is another one of the primed Warframes that I'm ticking off the list as a full build. So if you're ready, let's get straight into it. Let's first talk about the abilities. Revenant is a very popular Warframe, and I completely understand why. He is an absolute machine. First of all, shield depletion smashes enemies with within 7.5 meters with 100 damage. Knockback, shockwave. This is really nice, but obviously not very used because of the fact that you have certain abilities that are an absolute menace with this guy. So, the first ability we're talking about is Enthrall. Enthrall is a point-and-click little ability that you can put on someone that will make them your little minion, and they will shoot other enemies and spread the minion damage to a bunch of other enemies. This is a pretty decent duration at 38 seconds and has a relatively low cost at only 38 energy with a good damage per second as well. The other fun thing about this is an augment called Thrall Pack. This gives us extra bonus damage on our primary weapon for each active thrall, and of course when we've added our extra strength, that actually adds up to about 69% bonus damage per thrall, which is honestly ridiculous if you get lucky enough to apply it to a pretty good enemy, and then all of a sudden everyone under the sun is just doing crap loads of thrall nonsense. When they die though as well, they turn into a damaging pillar, which gives us some more damage per second. And then onto the main event. That is right, Mesmer Skin. Mesmer Skin, if you are unaware, is the best ability for Revenant and the reason why so many people play Revenant. He gets these charges. As you can see, it's a number of charges, 19.68, which actually rounds up, I believe. I could be wrong, it might round down. I think there's like a percentage chance with that 0.68. I can't remember how it exactly works, but basically, you get a certain number of charges. These charges are absolutely ridiculous because basically all it does is every single time someone shoots you, they get stunned and you go invulnerable for however long the duration is listed. So in this case, you have 6 seconds of duration per charge. So every single one of those charges after 6 seconds will do its nonsense, basically meaning that you are like fundamentally immortal while this is up because you can't take damage. We have an augment on this thing as well in the form of Mesmer Shield. This gives us even more Mesmer Skin, as well as giving our allies Mesmer Skin. This is great in a team environment. It basically just means that you're not only a great solo tank, but you can also make your team into great tanks as well. So any of those more squishy Warframes that your friends might be playing, whether that be something like a Gara or maybe, I can't even think of anything off the top of my head now, I'm blanking, like a Zephyr, right? Things like that are a bit more squishy and a bit more a scary, like, gotta kill everything before it kills me, or anything like that. You can make them immortal. This is really handy for that, and I absolutely love it. Reave is a really weird one too, in the sense that essentially you use an ability, it goes through people. Enemies that get hit by this will get their shields and health leached. And this is enhanced if you have any thralls as well. But basically, you go at a certain speed for a certain duration and you drain health. In this case, we're draining 111% of their health, which, if you haven't realized by now, is all of their health. So this is, for all intents and purposes, an instant kill, which is kind of ridiculous, making him even more insane. And then to finally cap things off, we have, of course, Roar, which at a max is a 38-second, 83% damage increase that also applies to Mesmer Skin and a bunch of other nonsense, meaning that, well, you can get like 21 charges of Mesmer Skin which is just ridiculous and so unnecessary, but here we are. It is also great for the squad. So once again, if you're playing a defense mission or something like that, pop Mesmer Skin, pop Roar, all of a sudden your team is not only dealing 84% more damage, but it's also Immortal. This is a fun build. And let's get straight into it. We got Energized, we got Multi Augmented. The more we play, the more we do, and the stronger we get. Arcane Energized as well, giving us pretty much infinite energy, primed flow to really get that additional energy going. We've got Corrosive Projection for some armor stripping. We've got those 2 augments that we already mentioned. We've got Augur Secrets, Blind Rage, and Transient Fortitude, all for the extra strength. So we're rocking 278% strength as well as 128% duration, which is not bad with that primed continuity. But the reason why we have Rolling Guard on what is essentially an Immortal Warframe is because unfortunately there is one point in time in which you are not immortal. And that is when you're recasting Mesmer Skin. When you recast Mesmer Skin, you are actually vulnerable. So if you Rolling Guard and you don't have skill issue like I do, you can time it to put Mesmer Skin on during your invulnerability of Rolling Guard. So you are literally immortal forever. Assuming that you don't somehow lose your last Mesmer Skin when you've Rolling Guarded already and then you're screwed. So just, you know, don't have skill issue and you should be fine. I don't have the best amounts of skill, so I tend to be pretty bad at this game, and thus I still sometimes die as Revenant. I know, it's shameful, but here we are. Regardless though, this guy is an absolute weapons platform with that Roar on there. Roar is a fantastic subsume on so many people, and this is no exception. The Trunma is going to be our weapon of choice, getting some blast damage. We've got the Panzerwaffe as well for some viral. I won't show those builds. You guys can have a look at them another time in another video. But let's go real quick, and we'll do a 10-minute MOT run like we always do. And we'll just go for it, have some fun. Now, my one thing I will say about this frame is while he is the ultimate comfort frame, he also does have the problem of, well, not really being the most engaging Warframe in the world. Similar to a Wisp, you're not exactly doing much with this guy ultimately. Even when you're just in the thick of things, smashing it out, really going crazy with it, you can unfortunately just be in a circumstance where it doesn't really work out for you because you're just doing nothing. You're essentially pressing 2 buttons, rolling, pressing 2 buttons, rolling. And I mean, I'm sure for some of you enjoyers out there that just want to be a weapon frame and you don't care about anything other than funny weapon go burr, right? Like that's fine. But for me, I do like a nice casting Warframe here and there, and not being able to cast is kind of sad. So we don't like that all the time. I think it's much nicer to have some degree of like casting value and that sort of thing, just as a whole. We're getting 488% bonus damage currently from our our Enthralls, and it's just going and going and going. It never seems to end. We're getting crap loads of bonus damage. We're killing our own enthralled targets at points, but that's okay. Pop Roar again. And you can already see. Yep, that's all that blast proc. If I can aim, that would be pretty cool. There you go. The enthralled targets are also just being a nightmare for the opposing Grineer. It's like indirect survivability almost. It's really, really good. This frame is the ultimate comfort frame. If you're ever struggling, build Revenant. He is so easy to build. You can build as much or as little as you want into him, and he will still outperform 99% of frames when it comes to survivability, when it comes to a lot of other stuff. So definitely definitely recommend, if you haven't already, making sure that if you're struggling with the game, you use something that's going to help you out. And this is it for me. This is my comfort frame wholeheartedly. See there, I didn't roll and I cast Mesmer Skin. Luckily, I was able to not die instantly, but if I hadn't been lucky enough to get those Enthrall targets on that, it would have been a big problem. This guy is performing well in a solo scenario and will always perform well in a solo scenario, but if you ever want to play him as a support frame with your friends, he does do that perfectly fine with these augments, and that's something to keep in mind as well. This is super comfy. Super comfy. Put on some more damage. There we go. We're currently sitting at only 79% because of our Molt Augmented. The other thing as well is if you have Molt Augmented, this is just going to grow and grow and grow in terms of damage. We're now at 500% bonus damage. It's just not even a competition at that point, right? You're just going to be killing things so quickly. We got rid of all our boys. Let's put one on over there. One thing I like to do is I like to enthrall like one room and then I'll go clear the other room. But ultimately, it's up to you how you want to play with the enthrall targets. Just keep an eye on your status bar. Make sure that you're not running out of enthrall. I'm actually going to roll here and then Mesmer Skin. As you saw, that's the combo. You just enthrall, Mesmer Skin again, reapply it. It can be reapplied for free. You don't have to augment it or anything to get that reapply, which is honestly one of the most disgusting parts about this guy. Same thing goes with the enthrall as well. You can just reapply the enthrall, which is just ridiculous. Again, absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd stuff. We've got Malice. We're just going to kill him real quick. He's not going to kill us because, unfortunately, we're invulnerable, so he can't exactly do a lot. We're getting another 591% bonus damage from our Enthrall. It's just ridiculous, and any primary weapon will work on this guy. You can use quite literally anything. I use the Trunma just because I quite enjoy the Trunma. But it's honestly up to you what you want to run on him. He will perform with any primary weapon thanks to the amount of damage boost you've got with this build. I'm only going to do 5 minutes with this one just because it's pretty obvious how egregious this is. It doesn't matter. I roll, I reapply, and I'm immortal, and I never die. And I've just gotten to 23 stacks because Molt Augmented is finally maxed out, which is even more ridiculous. I need to reapply Enthrall, so let's quickly reapply Enthrall. We'll go into another room now. Again, this is just the most ridiculous part of it all, right?
The operative has just made their first discovery. Keep up the
This is the most ridiculous part of it.
When you need it, extraction is ready.
And that's like a gazillion damage. I didn't even have a roar up. We've got 3 enthralled targets, so we're getting a little bit of damage here. Clear a room. Brunma doing its thing. Definitely doesn't matter what you choose. The burst gun would also be a phenomenal choice here. We got to reinstall our Mesmer Skin, or reapply our Mesmer Skin rather. I almost died there because I had skill issue, but it's okay. We'll just get straight out of here now. We know exactly what this does. If you're unaware, if you're struggling in the game, go grind Cetus, go grab Revenant. You don't even need the Prime version to make this happen. Again, all you need is Rolling Guard and Mesmer Skin. It doesn't matter how many charges, just obviously the amount of charges that you have will be how long you have to go in between those Mesmer charges. But you could quite literally take him to level cap with only Rolling Guard and Intensify. He would still be able to do it. You just got to remember, the more strength and the more duration you have, the more you can just go absolutely crazy with it. This build is just disgusting and will always perform no matter what content you're doing. So definitely check it out. Give some love if you haven't already. And like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts about Revenant. I know a lot of people don't like him just because he's kind of boring, but he is egregiously efficient. So if you've got skill issue like me, he's your guy. Have fun, enjoy the content. We've got daily builds happening every single day. If you enjoyed having the little chats, then come check out the Twitch. We have constant conversations on the Twitch channel. I go and play a bunch of War Thunder, another free-to-play game that you should definitely check out if you haven't already. And if you're getting into it, I'm happy to answer any questions, whether it be Warframe or War Thunder. Much love to you all. I'll see you all in the next one. And we might review a video. I will speak English eventually. We might review a weapon in the next video. So stay tuned. Come by, hang out, give us some love, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.